Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Fiji to host the first ever Russian Cultural Center for the South Pacific region. AusAid finds that some parents aren't sending their children to school. And Fiji Taxi Association is still struggling to come out of internal bickering. Hello Vinaka and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. The Russian Federation has praised Fiji for its growing presence on the world stage and says it will stand by Fiji as it continues its reform process leading up to the 2014 elections. The undertaking was given by Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during formal talks with Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama in Moscow yesterday. Edwin Nand reports.
The talks produced an agreement to set up a Russian Cultural Center in Fiji for the entire South Pacific. This will be the first of its kind. Lavrov singled out Fiji's contribution to United Nations peacekeeping efforts and the recent deployment of 182 Fijian troops to the Golan Heights as an example of Fiji's continuing commitment to engage with the international community. The Russian Foreign Minister reiterated comments his Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev made that Fiji should be allowed to determine its future without being dictated to from outside. After Prime Minister Bainimarama briefed him on the constitutional and electoral reform process in Fiji, Lavrov said Russia looked forward to Fiji finding its own style of democracy for the benefit of its people and their future, and could count on Russian support as it carried out the process. Russia, he says, believes in respecting each country irrespective of size and wealth. The Foreign Minister said Russia and Fiji both look forward to celebrating the 40th anniversary next year of the establishment of diplomatic relationships. He invited Commodore Bainimarama to make a return visit to Russia to commemorate the anniversary. This is the first state visit by a Fiji delegation to Russia. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
AusAid, which runs a number of education-based programs in Fiji, has found that some parents are reluctant to send their children to school. This is mostly evident in rural areas with families that have no source of income. As Shireen Latta reports, the issue here is changing the mindset of parents.
There are a number of programs run by the government, NGOs and international aid agencies to promote education and access to education. However, in parts of Fiji, there are still children missing out. AusAid has found situations where parents don't send their children to school at all.
Sometimes education is just left to the school, but I think what we're hoping to do is to help the communities realise that they can also play a part, and there have been a number of activities they've identified, members of the community that can come into the school and help with sports, education or music or dance. Also, just engaging parents more in the learning of their children.
Stencom says they have found some parents in rural communities who don't enroll their children in school even when assistance is provided. This needs to change.
The access and the quality of education at those schools. So that means identifying why children from that community are not going to school or why they're dropping out from school, and trying to work with the community to get them back into school and to keep them into school, and trying to improve the teaching and the learning within the classroom so that the learning outcomes for those children are improved.
Through its access to quality education programs, AusAid is investing around $93 million over 5 years so that children in Fiji are not deprived of education. It's also helped 50 schools affected by floods, and through it, almost 14,882 students benefited. Shireen Latta, FBC News.
There was much heated discussion in today's Fiji Taxi Association committee meeting. As Mika Longa reports, a feud amongst the members was sparked by continued internal bickering, which has marred the running of the association for some time now.
Some of the committee members were still not pleased with the Fiji Taxi Association AGM, abandoned in March because members were split over the position of the General Secretary.
Why the meeting was abandoned or postponed, the AGM?
None of the branches except for Lambasa branch have submitted their reports. So we don't have the members list, we don't have any status of the branches. How can you establish a quorum?
94 people were available at that premises. No.
If you people are interested in looking at the taxi association matters, what we can do in the future? We can listen.
Please wait. Let one person finish.
Listen, I'm going to finish you.
We have to speak. You can speak, but don't point.
I think this whole board has been dissolved.
I will definitely suspend you.
Don't cry over the spilled milk. We are not here to cry over the spilled milk. We are here to clean the table.
Committee members also queried the financial status of the association.
You can be assured that we have not touched $1 extra from the fund. And if any further, I will bring it to your people's attention. If anything I have done wrong, if misuse of fund or anything, the matter be reported to the police against the president.
Today's meeting was conducted in the presence of two trustees of the association.
I think the association has fell behind, right? With the internal bickerings and saga happening in here, the association has sort of been left a couple of years behind. And you guys are looked upon by other taxi operators as the body that decides the future.
The members have agreed to the appointment of an interim General Secretary, interim Treasurer, and 3 other members, including the President and his deputy, to take the association into 2014.
They should work together, forget about jealousy, leave it at home, and don't come and discuss it here. They should come one clean voice to promote Fiji Taxi Association.
At the end, the members agreed that all dirty lenience of the association displayed here today be threshed out in the next committee meeting. They've also agreed that the next AGM in February or March next year be conducted in a clean slate and argument-free. Nikolonga, FBC News.
The people of Namatambao in Tailevu have managed to build a new church after more than a decade of hard work. Our reporter Pisolome Doka was at the opening and dedication of the Ratu Marika Toroda Memorial Church.
The opening of this church is a huge achievement for the people of Namata, 15 years in the making.
It is quite strange for a village not to have a church. And for us, we have had our church, but it has been demolished.
Those who've left the village returned home to witness the event. Years of fundraising and saving up finally paying off. This is the 3rd church to be built here. The 2 previous ones were demolished due to their poor condition. Getaki says the villagers relied only on themselves to build this church and sought no help from outside, a testament to their faith.
The church is funded by the community here. We have had a number of fundraising, but the actual fundraising started, I think, over 15 years ago.
This is the village community hall where the Bono of Namata have been carrying out their church service for the past 4 years. It is through both their hard work and faith that has carried them through in building their new church.
The people of Namata say they are happy they now have a proper place to worship.
We have witnessed through building a new church some of the blessings that we have lost for not having a church for some time are being felt here again.
We thank God for the hard work our elders started off, and we, the generation today, have finally achieved the goal of our elders to have a new church so we can worship in the house of God.
The people of Namata today held a Thanksgiving church service for this achievement. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, FNPF says it's committed to providing the best for its members.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today's hit music. What's up?
Nisambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbuka na Radio Fiji-1 nandoma ibiti bongani bianyanu nama katalangana benga na sasi biani na tinna kaloka na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima maniwalu na bembongi ni bakarawai mai na mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.
Welcome back here with FBC News. Fiji National Provident Fund will be deducting $35 from each member's account from tomorrow as part of the special death benefit. Chief Executive Esake Taito says the board has retained this deduction as they continue to look for competitive products for members. Vosita Kote Wasawasa has more.
The Fiji National Provident Fund says it's committed to ensuring that its members benefit from the many initiatives that it has undertaken. Through its reforms, the FNPF has maintained the special death benefit scheme for its members.
The board has also retained the special death benefit for financial year 2014 by $8,500 at a premium of $35 to be deducted from our members' account on 1st July 2013.
Esake Taito says this initiative can be compared to an insurance policy where $8,500 is added to a member's account upon death. He adds they are also in the process of looking at other attractive options to help members' funds to continue to grow.
We are currently reviewing the SDB to ensure that we have competitive products that will add value to our members.
Taito adds that with the ongoing reforms, members can be assured that their funds will continue to grow. Vosita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
The 14-year-old student who is accused of allegedly raping a Class 2 student in Tavua has been arrested and questioned. Police spokesperson Ananai Soro says the student has been caution interviewed by investigators in the presence of his father and released. He will be further questioned as investigations continue. The Class 8 student is alleged to have raped the Class 2 student in a school compound between the 17th and 21st of this month during recess. Meanwhile, the post-mortem of a couple who were found dead in their Vatuanga flat on Friday is yet to be conducted. Investigations are continuing with statements obtained from the deceased co-workers and next of kin. The couple, a school teacher and university student, were both 32. Police are treating their deaths as murder-suicide. 2 people were treated for injuries at the Koravislo Health Centre after their vehicle tumbled along the Queen's Highway in Serua. This footage was provided to us by Rizwan Dean of Nasinu, who was driving by the scene today. The accident occurred at the infamous Matanipusi Hill after lunch today, with the 4-wheel drive ending up on its roof. Police investigations have begun and the vehicle will be taken to LTA for inspection. Remember, if you have any newsworthy pictures or videos, email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. Coming up in sports, Fiji opts out of Oceania Futsal Championship. And setbacks for schools rugby.
Bola. Oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kia umena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina bagarumbuka. Kako ni valata na no musini sari na kaisa mariando loloma leone vani ni nau omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina bagarumbuka ena Bula FM number 2 ena sere.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Leading FBC Sports tonight, the Fiji Sevens team will be up against a much fancied South Africa in the Cup quarterfinals of the Rugby World Cup Sevens tonight. Fiji managed to qualify despite losing 19-14 to Wales in their last pool match. South Africa is the only team to not concede a point after pool play and has also scored the most tries. Fiji faces the Blitzboks at 9 p.m. In the other quarters, New Zealand faces Wales, England takes on Australia, and Kenya faces France. In the women's competition, Fijiana failed to win any pool game and faces South Africa, but in the ball quarterfinals at 8:06 p.m. Fiji Sevens playmaker Chochi Rangamate is among 3 people shortlisted by the International Rugby Board for the prestigious IRB Sevens Player of the Year award. New Zealand's Tim Mickelson and England's Dan Norton are the other 2 nominees. French media is reporting that 3rd Division club Montauban has recruited Samisoni Viriviri to play for them. According to the report, Viriviri will move to France at the end of the World Cup. And despite not being able to stay unbeaten in pool play, fans back home are positive about Fiji's chances at the World Cup. This is what some had to say to FBC Sports.
Fiji might win. I think Fiji can win the World Cup.
Yeah, I think they can win, and I think they'll do better this time.
125% they'll win the World Cup. Why? They got speed. They got they're very fast in. Just by chance they lost last night to Wales.
Awesome team. They look fit. They'll definitely win.
Fiji will not be going to the Oceania Futsal Championships in Auckland, New Zealand this year. Fiji Football Association has not been able to get a formidable team together, and a decision has been made not to play at all. Shelvin Chand reports.
It's simple. 11-a-side players do not excel at futsal. It's a different ball game, and that's why Fiji hasn't done too well in the 5-a-side game. To avoid humiliation, it's been decided not to send a team to Auckland.
Actually, we started a little late, and we did have a team ready, and it would have been futile sending just a ad hoc team and getting thrashed by some of the teams from the district, which would have really affected our image.
The good news is that 2 referees from Fiji will be officiating at these games, providing them with exposure.
Advised that there are 2 invitational teams, one coming from Malaysia and one from Australia, to join the other teams in Auckland. And surely the 2 referees, our referees going down, they will gain a lot of experience, and their experience will help improve futsal here.
To solve the futsal problem, a 5-a-side league is in the pipelines. Players registered for futsal can't play at 11-a-side at district level.
Hopefully, if I can get the teams registered by this Friday, and on Monday I'll go through it. Tuesday we'll do the draw, and hopefully if I can get Vodafone Arena booked for Wednesday, Thursday, so we'll get the Southern League going. And
with the plan taking shape, Fiji FA is hoping that this will pave the way for Fiji to reach new heights in futsal. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Southern Zone Secondary School's rugby competition tradition will be broken after organisers were told that they can't use the ANZ Stadium to host the finals. It's come as a setback for the students who have been playing their hearts out. Shelvin Chand reports.
The ANZ Stadium in Lodala Bay Suva has always hosted the finals for schools rugby in the south, but this will not be this year.
It's now probably the first year whereby we will not be playing there for our finals, and we just came to learn about it this weekend. It's really unfortunate, but we are still pleading with them if they can give it to us.
The organisers have hoped to have schools play on much talked about international quality pitch before the Dean's quarterfinals.
We actually wanted our boys to play at the ANZ Stadium because that will be the venue for our national quarterfinal. So we wanted our boys to try out the venue.
The grounds currently being used for the matches are not of top quality, but if there are no options available, schools will have to make do with whatever is available.
Ground condition here is it becomes an issue only when it rains, and that is why we were opting to go to the stadium, because over there we all know even if it rains, there is no sign of anything over there. The ground is just perfect for kids to play on it.
The quarterfinals of the schools rugby for the Southern Zone ended yesterday. In the next fortnight, it will be finals time. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The Morris volleyball tournament ended last night, and with it the reign of the Rebels, who were out to make it 3 years in a row. Marist, however, had other ideas, coming out eventual winners. The Rebels, who've won all other major tournaments this year, believe they will get better. Shelvin Chand again.
Rebels Orewai Gold have been very impressive this year, not only winning major tournaments but doing so in style.
In fact, these boys came through the like volleyball for the past 2 years, and competing for Orewai that won the 3 major tournaments this year. So these guys, they've been playing for a couple of years, so that's why they've been, hard to beat.
Last night's loss will soon be forgotten, as there are other plans for the team.
Contacting from a club in Australia, and they've been contacting us last night, like this morning again. They are preparing a program, so maybe some of us will be returning to Australia.
For the organisers, the Morris tournament was better than last year's.
More teams than we've ever had, so it hasn't been smooth sailing, but we are happy that the players are enjoying themselves. We've done our best to try and complement the effort that they've put in trying to be here. They seem to be enjoying themselves. It's been a big volleyball festival so far.
Volleyball is still considered a minor sport in Fiji. Clubs are hoping for more top-notch competitions which could pave way for the players into professional leagues abroad. Shalvin Chan, FBC Sports.
A mix of sunny conditions and rain for most of the day. The day started off fine over all centres, but rain developed in the Western Division and in Suva towards the afternoon. Lambasa, which had fine weather all day, posted a high of 33 degrees today, while Suva has a low of 26 degrees. Expect showers all day tomorrow in Suva and Savu-Savu, while afternoon showers are also forecast for the Western Division. The outlook for Tuesday, some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Elsewhere fine apart from afternoon or evening showers. Taking a look at tonight's top stories, the Russian government has decided to establish a first ever cultural center in Fiji for the South Pacific. AusAid education programs find that there are some parents not sending their children to school despite assistance. And Fiji Taxi Association decides to appoint an interim committee to run its affairs until an AGM is held next year. To the poll question now, since Fiji is playing the quarter-final at 9 p.m. Does Fiji Sevens have the right combination for the Rugby World Cup? To take part, visit www.fbc.com.fj. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all for tonight. You can join the news team again tomorrow evening. I'll be back next weekend. Until then, have a safe and enjoyable week. Good night.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च FM। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।